The invasion activities we develop for Mowbray Primary School are designed to equip students with skills necessary to competently participate in the game of basketball. We have 5 predominant learning outcomes: develop students' chest pass, develop students' dribbling ability, and ability winning possession of the ball, keeping possession of the ball and creating space. The learning outcomes were chosen to facilitate students with the fundamental object control skills and situational awareness skills required to play basketball.
Our intended learning outcomes and activities coincide with the following Grade 5-6 Australian Health and Physical Education curriculum. Interception allows students to perform any desired form of pass. This enables them to discover for themselves what is most effective in disposing of the basketball. The addition of the student in the middle creates pressure, resulting in a game-like scenario. In the second lesson, we joined pairs together to create a more team-based activity and directed students to include different disposal techniques, such as a bounce pass. The dribbling relay allows for teachers to assess each student's dribbling ability without their knowledge. Once students were equipped with the correct dribbling technique, the relay allowed students to practice their newly acquired skills. Dribblers vs Robbers focus on students' dribbling ability with the added pressure of a defender. Dribblers vs Robbers demonstrate students' ability to maintain and gain possession of the ball using legitimate tactics. Once the robber has stolen the basketball, students swap roles. Endball requires students to create space in order to gain possession of the ball and use defensive tactics to intercept and stop the opposition from scoring. In the first variation, students were unable to run with the ball and no passing technique was specified, allowing for students to discover the most effective means of disposing of the basketball. In the second lesson, endball was modified to incorporate students' dribbling ability, slowly progressing towards a legitimate game of basketball. Students began incorporating bounce passes and regular chest passes. A no-go zone was added down the middle of the court to encourage students to spread out and use more of their allocated playing zone.
The game sense approach focuses on the why of the skill first, opposed to the how. Our game sense approach enabled us to establish students' initial skills and make necessary adaptations to our activities to facilitate for individual student needs. The game sense approach enabled students to develop their invasion game skills and fundamental motor skills separately and then combine both together in a game scenario.
Using a game sense approach enables teachers to assess students' initial ability of a skill and establish a starting point on which to progress from. Students are required to think about why they are performing a specific skill and how to apply it in a sporting environment. Disadvantages to using a game sense approach: students initially may not be performing the skill correctly and may form bad habits. Students may feel discouraged to begin with if their skills are poor in comparison to their peers. This may create a bad mindset for the student for the remainder of the lesson. The use of basketballs throughout all our activities in the second lesson familiarised students with the object, preparing them for a legitimate game of basketball. 2 games of endball were ran at the same time. This maximised student involvement and allowed Josiah and myself to assess individual students' abilities. Teaching Mowbray Primary School students for 2 weeks was a valuable experience that provided us with a thorough understanding of the game sense approach. The use of the game sense approach increases students' engagement and involves them in the development of game tactics and modifications. Students are required to participate in the questioning phase of the lesson, cementing their understanding of the skill and reason behind it. Josiah and I demonstrated the ability to provide constructive feedback during the group discussions and whilst activities were underway. Our lessons provided good time on task and activities had all students included and engaged. We showed good enthusiasm and our questions made students think about the skills and tactics at hand and their implementation in a game. We need to work on our ability to circulate the classroom, avoid both teachers being in the same area at once. Explaining all aspects of our activities better and include physical demonstrations. We should have utilised our teacher assistant more in our activities to increase the flow of the lesson, if for example numbers weren't even. The feedback acquired from our peers allowed us to re-evaluate our teaching strategies and activities to better suit the learning of the students.